Hello. Welcome to Giants Live. Today, the World's Strongest Man Arena Tour rocks up in Leeds. What are we here for? Well, quite simply, Europe's Strongest Man. It's quite literally the biggest one-day strongman event in the world. The Continental Crown is up for grabs. Very shortly, we'll be seeing who will be adding their name to a roll call of past winners. That's like a who's who of this glorious sport.
And this is for England.
It's the best title out of World's Strongest Man, period. The vastness in Europe is outstanding, and to be the strongest man in a continent that's so vast. We've got the Vikings, we've got Eastern Europe, we've got the British, the Scandinavians, all these great countries that have just resonated in strength from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's just etched in history in Europe, so I think that's the best title out of World's Strongest Man.
People think about this title very important. It's true. It's really very important competition and very important title.
Of course, everybody wants to win, like that's what we're here for. And I think in this lineup, you know, everything can happen. You just have to do it.
It's always been maybe a 2 or 3 horse race for the winner of Europe's Strongest Men. And we have potentially 10 guys very capable of winning.
I won't lie, it is an ambition. I want to win it definitely. Makes the hair stand up on the back of your head, regardless of how many times you've been out there. Just, yeah, really excited to go out there and feel that again.
I'm there to prove that I'm the best at every event. So if I can come away with a world record long press and Europe's Strongest Man title, that's creme de la creme, you know, that's the pinnacle of my career.
It would mean everything to win Europe's Strongest Man, you know. I came close last year and slipped up on the stones, unfortunately. So I've kind of got a bit of unfinished business with this event.
Europe's Strongest Man, one of the most prestigious competitions in all of strength athletics and one of the most difficult to win. 8 of the last 10 titles have been won by just 2 men. And when you consider Luke Richardson, the reigning champion, is out injured, that means today we will see a brand new champion crowned. And who better to talk to about the event than the 2016 champion himself? Big Lars, it is great to have you back here, my friend. What does it mean to actually have that title?
Well, for these guys, this is one of the most prestigious shows there is to win. It's an opportunity to catapult their career and win a major title. These guys, they'll put World's Strongest Man as the #1 title. Europe's Strongest Man for the guys competing today is #2. The guys are ready, they're hungry, they're looking focused. I mean, I've never seen Luke Stoltman look this focused before. It's a major show, everyone wants to win it. I think we're going to have an amazing show.
Mate, you've perfectly tantalised our taste buds. Safe to say, this is wide open, but whatever happens, we will have a brand new Europe's Strongest Man crowned here today.
Well, we certainly will, and it'll be one of these guys. From Ireland, 5-time Ireland's Strongest Man, Par O'Dwyer, the Limerick Lion. From Estonia, we have HENLA, a veteran strongman with a point to prove. Call this guy Big Gav. You can work out yourself. It's Gavin BILTON, strongest man in Wales. We have Lalas from Lithuania, here at World's Strongest Man in 2018. Then Ervin TOOTS sent shockwaves through the strongman world when he came 3rd at this event last year. From Sweden, they call him HANSSON, Johnny HANSSON. one of the favourites for this event. He won Britain's Strongest Man in 2019, Graham HICKS. And this guy, the real favourite, the Highland Oak, Luke Stoltman. Adam Bishop, the reigning Britain's Strongest Man. And then, of course, well, let's have the world's Strongest Man, shall we? Novikov took that title in 2020. Can he add Europe's to his trophy cabinet? As ever, the top 3 strongmen tonight progress to World's Strongest Man. And of course, it is Europe's Strongest Man, but tonight we did have a special guest planned for the log press, the current champion, and a man who was aiming to set a new world record, just as he did with the axle press right there at the Royal Albert Hall. Now, Ian Bibi has made 3 attempts so far to get from Burkina Faso to Leeds in very difficult circumstances, all the obvious stuff, of course, but also he lost his father just a couple of weeks before this event. And he is on his way, but won't make it in time tonight. So we press ahead with the log press, and 4 athletes still to go at 180 kilos.
Yeah, 180 kilos, Danny, nearly 400 pounds. And that's just round 1. So far, 6 out of 6 have failed. A real surprise there, but it is a massively high number to start this World Log Lifting Championships. Now, Adam Bishop. Let's see how he gets on. The first of the really big hitters coming out. Oh!
Well, that's a disaster for Adam Bishop.
Well, he can have another go if he's up for it. I just wonder whether he actually passed out there.
This is trainer Rob Crampton. I think that's it for Adam Bishop, so.
I don't think he's injured. I think he's just started to pass out a little bit and just had to let go. No option. Goodness me. So 7 out of 7 failures. Goodness, this is bizarre.
So Novikov now.
Oh, the reigning world's strongest man. What's he got at 180 kilos, this massive log?
Well, as the man seems to do whatever he sets out to. Novikov makes light work of that.
Unbelievable. The lightest man in the field as well, just plows it overhead without a problem. And it was starting to look as if it was 20, 30 kilos heavier, but no, that looks normal now. Well done, Novikov.
So, just 2 men yet to try this opening weight, Luke Stoltman and Graham HICKS. 2 of the favourites to win this event and maybe set a new world record too. They'll log on as Europe's Strongest Man continues. Welcome back to Giants Live. It's Europe's Strongest Man at the first direct arena in Leeds. And so far, there have been some ups and some downs in the log press. With next to go Graham HICKS and Luke Stoltman, it's over to Colin and Danny.
Well, thanks, James. And a reminder of the progress so far. So only Oleksii NOVIKOV has managed to lift the opening weight of 180 kilos. 2 men still to go. Now, Graham HICKS came very close to the world record at last year's Europe's Strongest Man. That was in the cold and the wind.
Didn't he just? 220 kilos. Equaled the heaviest ever press on a wooden log, and not bad though. He too is falling back a little bit there.
Yes, wasn't the most comfortable lift.
It's always a bit trickier when you get into competition, those spotlights in your face. It's not like being in a gym where everything's just perfect for you and power is no problem.
5-time Scotland's Strongest Man. Luke Stoltman, a brilliant presser. Very focused this year. Usually so jovial.
So quick to the shoulders. Oh, that's brilliant. What's the problem, he says.
Very emotionally controlled.
Novikov trying to look not too impressed, but good sportsmanship. Applauds his foe. I somehow feel it's those 2 are going to be 2 of the big front runners for the European title.
You might be wondering where Tom Stoltman is. He's actually got COVID at the moment, not taking part today.
Yes, indeed, he's out, and actually so too is Oleksii NOVIKOV from this log. Very tactical, deciding not to burn too much energy here. He knows he's going to get a top 3 place at worst. Now then, can Graham Hicks go to 195? I'm sure Luke Stoltman will stay in the game. Does, yes.
Well, that's a better lift than his first lift.
Just moving his shoulder and elbow there on the left side. I wonder whether he's maybe not quite feeling how he was last year anyway when he pressed 220.
Stoltman slapping his own bottom. Do you think he'd have someone to do that?
Perhaps not on camera.
Up it goes, very confident.
Oh,
easy.
Easier than 180. Well, if I were Hicksy, I'd probably pull out of the next round because this is going to be Luke Stoltman's, I think.
Well, no signs of weakness there from the Highland Oak.
There'll be no Novikov in this round, so that's it. Round 2's done and dusted already. What they're going to go to next to decide the 2 Brits for this world log title.
I'm done.
Well, Graham Hicks is done. More tactics, of course. Reserving strength. Maybe doesn't feel the world records in his sights tonight.
Well, Luke called 207.5, so he's gone high enough that Hicksy's decided to pull out. Hopefully he hasn't gone too high and ends up wasting energy here and does a failure.
Well, if anyone can do it, Luke Stoltman can.
No doubt about it. He's been right up there. He's tried the world record before last year. 230 kilos. He attempted it twice, actually, but failed. This should be within him. Oh no, goodness.
One more go.
Shaky start there. Oh yes, no! Not with Magnus refereeing.
Didn't lock out. Beaten by the log. Luke Stoltman, a brave effort, but fails at 207.5.
Well, it was an awful heavy start, but he looked very comfortable. If anybody, I thought he'd get that. And I think he thinks he should have got it. I think he should have got it as well. Not that it was a good lift. He just got his forces wrong, going backwards over his head, and then... Well, that was not above him, was it? He couldn't hold that.
Well, the Highland Oak and Hicksy sharing the top spot in our opening event. Novikov happy enough with 3rd, while all the others failing to pass the press. So a good start then for British hopes. Next up, it's the shield carry. One of your favourites, right, Danny?
Well, yes, just in my spare time, though. So the shield carry, well, it's very awkward to carry. 200 kilos, no time limit. You just have to carry it around in whatever way you can for as long as you can. Power Dwyer managed 34.65 metres. HANSSON managed 22.3. HENLA nearly had a hernia with 37.05. The band to beat right now, Ervin TOOTS, 37.7 metres. And looking to beat that is Marius Lalas.
Yep, the Lithuanian lives in Dublin with his brother Vitautas, who was a great strongman, of course.
And of course, the reigning Wales strongest man, Gavin BILTON.
Big Gav. A lot of fans in the crowd here for him, that's for sure. Former rugby player, former soldier as well. Tough guy and huge to boot. Look at the size difference.
Remember, there is no time limit to this. Go as long as you want, but you have to go the furthest. Look at Lalas.
Just like his brother, he's absolute pocket rocket dynamite type. Incredibly powerful legs, and he's just trying to swallow up as much ground as he possibly can before he exhausts himself. Big Gav, a little slow. Can he get all the way up? No. That could be very hard to beat, though.
Brilliant performance there from Lalas. Manages 54.2 metres.
Just so cumbersome, bashing off your thighs as you try and move with them, and also bruising up your forearms. They're nasty.
Adam Bishop next to go.
Not a great event for him, I have to say.
Especially when you're up against someone like Novikov. All that speed, all that power.
He's absolute dynamite at this. I've seen him before, he's very quick. Doesn't want to waste too much time and energy fumbling with the hold. You just got to get on with it. Ooh! I was about to say, Adam Bishop's fallen over with this before, and he drops it early rather than going down. He seems okay. Now it's Novikov. He's a lot slower than Lalas, isn't he? Already his gait is very goofy, isn't it?
It is. Just throws that down, 27.65. Not the best from Novikov. Poor Bishop, I mean, did he black out there?
Yeah, just under 7.5 meters. I think he probably was close to it as he was in the log. And well, I thought we'd see more from Novikov.
Bish, obviously you gutted with that performance, but first things first, more importantly, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just like severely fatigued. Obviously doing the log and then the shield carry, I was blacking out on both. So something not right, whether it's blood sugars or you know, blood pressure or whatever. So yeah, I'm gutted that obviously I had to put out the competition, but obviously the decision was made to cut it there.
Well, mate, we'll look forward to seeing you back. Thanks for your time, mate.
Awesome. Cheers, Radzi.
Well, that's sad. Adam Bishop pulls out of Europe's strongest man. Still 2 men left to go for the shield carry. HICKS, of course, and STOLTMAN. So, a British pairing.
Well, there was a big competition in America last week, and both HICKS and Bishop flew back to Europe's strongest man just a few days ago. I imagine that flying would have fatigued him, but Luke Stoltman was up in the Highlands eating and drinking and getting ready for this, and he looks great at the moment.
Well, it's the Scottish way, eating and drinking, and he's very fast.
He's got past Novikov. I don't think he's going to get to Lalas's distance.
I might have spoken too soon. He is slowing. HICKS as well, really struggling now.
Hanging on with everything they've got here. How's HICKS even keeping that up? Goodness.
Oh, gasping for breath, Luke Stoltman.
42.2 meters. Solid distance for him. Importantly, he's ahead of Novikov, and HICKS, well, just 27, down in 8th. You can see the way it sort of sits between your thighs, Danny. It's so uncomfortable.
I know the feeling. Luke's with Radzi now.
Luke, 2 events, joint first and a second. You've got a smile on your face, you must be delighted.
Yeah, I'm happy. You know, the log didn't go quite to plan. I wanted to hit something really big, but saved myself. For the shield carry, you know, it's went really well. I don't know what happened to Adam Bishop. I haven't seen him yet. I don't know if he's out.
So he actually blacked out is what happened.
Oh, did he?
So he's not injured, which is a great thing.
Good. Well, that's good. That's good. So we're in a good place at the moment, but we're only 2 events in. You know, there's 3 more events, so I've got to really push it. I'm feeling pumped, man. I'm feeling good.
Looking good too. Luke there taking 2nd place to mighty Marius Lalas and his enormous shield carry, a full 12 metres further than the Scot. Novikov and HICKS only 7th and 8th. And that means that after 2 events, Luke now takes a 6-point lead overall from Graham HICKS, with Novikov just half a point back in 3rd. But poor Adam Bishop, Britain's strongest man, now out of the race for the European crown. Frustration for Adam, but for the remaining men, a moment of reflection before their battle continues with the deadlift for reps on this massive 360-kilogram bar. That's coming up on Giants Live. Welcome back to Leeds. Time now for the deadlift for reps. Can Graham HICKS pull some points back on the man in top spot, Luke Stoltman? And what of the man in 3rd place, 2020 World's Strongest Man, Oleksii NOVIKOV? Over to Colin Bryce with a deadlift expert.
Event number 3, and it's the deadlift for repetitions. Take a look at this magnificent piece of kit. Incredibly thick handle, these enormous globes at the end. The whole thing weighs 360 kilos, not pounds, kilos, and you have to lift it for repetitions. It's a good old-fashioned deadlift, up and down you go, 60 seconds. I mean, it's one of the hardest events there is, deadlift, and this is not for max. It's, I guess, a bit about fitness, isn't it? Eddie, how do you think this is going to go down?
Well, I mean, you've got to look at the last event they've just done, the shield carry. So the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, the back, everything's going to be fried. And this is exactly what the deadlift is. It's all anterior chain. So the guys are going to be really tired, fatigued. And yeah, 360 kilo on a normal bar is pretty hard. This 2-inch thicker makes the weight a bit further out, which hurts the back even more. And these big globes, obviously it's very unbalanced, makes a huge difference. So I think 8 reps is going to win this.
Okay. Well, any chance we can persuade you to come back out, get the belt out of retirement, have a little pull?
No, I've literally just pulled my back backstage, so I'll leave this one out.
Okay, let's see how the guys get on.
Well, first up was handsome Johnny HANSSON. Managed 0 reps, very surprising. As we move on to Graham HICKS, currently in 2nd place, loving every minute. And he's paired with Novikov, of course. Another great deadlifter. Real stamina to him.
Well, amazingly, he's still in 3rd place after that pretty poor showing in the shield carry. And this is an event he's very solid at, but so too HICKS. HICKS a great deadlifter, and he's at it straight away. I don't think he'll be using all of his 60 seconds, though, Danny. 5 or 6 reps is just brilliant in this.
Oh, I mean, look at this. He's managed 4 reps before Novikov's even started.
Such a stiff bar, though. It's so unforgiving. Novikov is really struggling with his grip, actually.
The world record for this is 8. That was set by Martins Lissis. And HICKS is on 7.
I think he's going to do it, you know, certainly equal it. There's not enough time to really recover too much, and it wasn't that tough the previous rep. Now, Novikov, as ever, he's the Terminator. He just keeps on coming.
Well, look, HICKS is going for it, knows he's got 10 seconds. He could equal the world record here.
Surely.
And he does. Wow.
Somehow Novikov's only 2 behind, though.
Yeah, a nice recovery from Novikov. Managed to pull it back with 6, but Graham HICKS equals the world record with a mighty 8 reps.
All of HICKS's looked pretty comfortable. All of Novikov's were a pretty tough battle. Off balance at the end there. Novikov. I didn't see all of that, but he was grinding it out.
Gavin BILTON next. Long arms of BILTON's up against Pa O'Dwyer, 5-time Ireland strongest man. Happy about it.
Well, he's lost a lot of weight. He looks in good shape. Let's hope he hasn't lost too much muscle as well. Big Gav, look, his stance is almost as wide as the platform. What I'd say is the most efficient way to deadlift. The narrower, the straighter up and down your arms are, the better, but it works for the big guy.
Dwyer using his rhythm, straight down, straight back up to 5.
Yeah, you can't exactly bounce these off the floor, but undoubtedly a breathing rhythm is all part of it. 6 reps, so Dwyer's doing remarkably well. Big Gav on his 5th.
And Dwyer has equaled what Novikov managed. 20 seconds left to go. BILTON not looking good.
He looks wiped out, doesn't he? Now then, is Dwyer going to go for one more? Almost certainly, but has he got one more in him? This will be one of the most impressive things I've seen if he does it.
5 seconds. He's going to have to get a wriggle on. Just not enough energy, not enough speed. Couldn't quite bring it. Would have loved to.
6 reps, though, very impressive. And 5 from Gav, but at what expense? He looks absolutely wiped out. He won Wales' the strongest man last week, and I think some of the guys are competing an awful lot at the moment. And it takes its toll.
HENLA then from Estonia. Up against another Estonian, TOOTS.
Yeah, TOOTS was brought in by HENLA. Now they're not exactly friends, let's say that. Both claiming to be Estonia's strongest man. Oh, we'll have a bit of a decider here. Who's got the deadlift power? Almost certainly HENLA.
Fast start from HENLA.
TOOTS really having to work it up his thighs. HENLA much smoother. Actually, for a 5th rep, that was very impressive. 36 seconds to go. My goodness. 8 reps is the record.
I think we might be on for something here with just under 30 seconds to go. HENLA equals the recently equaled world record.
Is he going to showboat?
Oh, come on, you've got 20 seconds, HENLA.
Can he do another? I'm not sure. You burn out quick, don't you?
HICKS not happy.
I think HICKS thinks he's got it in him, and so does he. Look at that.
9. HENLA manages the world record, encouraged by his friend and rival TOOTS. And an Estonian has done it, set a new world record for the axle deadlift.
9 reps at 360 kilos. And oh, bit of friendship again, nice to see. Great deadlifter for reps. He might not be the absolute best for max, but such a tough man.
A little more pressure then on Luke Stoltman. Currently leading overall.
Listen to the roar he's getting.
And Lalas, of course, such an impressive individual. He agrees with it. It's Mrs. Stoltman, looking just as nervous as Luke was.
Yeah, Cushy's looking really nervous. Luke's in the driving position at the moment here at Europe's Strongest Man, looking really solid. Deadlift, not his best event, though, that's for sure. A squat, yes, but when it comes to static, he prefers pressing. But has he overcome his problems with the deadlift? Lalas sets off at a pretty furious pace here.
Well, Luke, having a couple of words with himself. Already resting.
He needs more than a strong talking to. He's got to get this up. Every rep he can get, he's going to get more points. He's had enough.
That's it. He's unstrapped from it. Stopping at 3. Well, Lalas, still some time. 6.
Lalas will do him a favour if he manages to equal or go ahead of Novikov.
Well, he's done...
Oh!
I thought he'd done that. Oh, no, didn't count. 6 for Lalas. Didn't manage to equal Novikov. And only 3, surprisingly, for Luke Stoltman.
Yeah, that's disappointing for Luke. I hope he hasn't hurt his chest, but tell you what, the man will be happy as HENLA with 9.
Rauno, we were hoping for a world record in the log press. We didn't get one. We were not expecting a world record in that deadlift. What makes you so good at the deadlift?
Actually, I was very young. My deadlift was already so good, and that's my event.
Yeah. Well, it's really worked, and we loved seeing it. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
It's official, Rauno HENLA is a deadlift monster. 9 reps, a new world record, and of course, the event win, pushing Graham HICKS into 2nd. Luke Stoltman's 3 reps, only good enough for 7th. And that means HICKS and Novikov have both taken a big chunk out of Luke's lead. The Scotsman now just a point ahead of Graham and 3.5 of Oleksii. With 2 events to go, Luke's lead down and the pressure building. Let's see how the Stoltman camp is feeling. Radzi is with Luke's wife, Cushy.
We're now in uncharted territory for Luke. We are at one of the biggest events in Strongman, and he's on the precipice of potentially winning this. How's he feeling?
I think he's just got his mindset right, so he keeps his composure, keeps calm, he keeps like a steady level head. I think before maybe he would be over cheering, like over happy and stuff like that, but now working with a psychologist, it's really helped him get his mindset correct, so he always stays level headed. So it's kind of good to not know how he's feeling because he's just completely unreadable.
From a story standpoint, from your standpoint, for everyone in Scotland, fingers crossed it could happen, and what a moment it would be for you and your family. Good luck.
Thank you.
The car walk then. 20 metres, 60 seconds, and a 450-kilo car to carry. In this case, this one. And HANSSON, well, he managed an impressive time of 20.6 seconds. As we rejoin Luke Stoltman. Emotionally unreadable. Usually that's a criticism, but not today. Up against TOOTS. And Stoltman really needs a strong performance here.
Yes, indeed. He's a very emotional character normally, but he's really trying to channel his focus. This is a great start here, Danny.
Well, look at
He's
this.
going through the gears.
It really is. He's got some speed up already. As we approach, oh, down he goes, but recovers nicely.
Didn't he just? Goodness. Reminds me of Hafthor Bjornsson, who made all kinds of errors when he was doing the car walk a few years ago. In the lead, he lost it to Lawrence in the end. So he manages to avoid disaster there, Luke. And Big Toits powers it over in 25 seconds or thereabouts.
Such a fast time, though, from Luke Stoltman, just over 13 seconds. This was the moment we thought he might be in trouble.
At one stage there, it was looking like disaster. That was an unbelievable recovery, mate.
Yeah, I had to kind of pull it back from the brink. It was good, you know, it's probably the fastest I've done that. That's all I can ask for myself. See how it stands in the day. Got stones to finish up on, buzzing for that. Yeah, I'm just going to have some fun in this last event and see what happens. I'm just going to go full berserk mode in them stones. So, yeah, my baby brother Tom's not so bad at stones. So.
He'll be watching you, that's for sure. Good luck, mate.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Gavin BILTON up next. Paired, of course, with Pa Dwyer, has been doing very well. A strong performance here from him could put him in striking range of the podium.
Look at the size of Big Gav. That VW Beetle is swallowed up by his mass. But it's the smaller man who gets away quickly here. Pa Dwyer having a great night.
It really is. He's got the rhythm, he's got the speed.
And he's over the line.
He certainly is, but BILTON, where is he?
Gone down, goodness. I think he fainted there. He looked a little bit grey before he took off at the start. And yeah, he's had a wee rest. Not doing so well, Gav, but he's up, thank goodness. I think it might just be time to call it a night there.
He's very upset.
You know, he's won Wales' strongest man last week. He's been in contest after contest. He just can't win it all, and he's fairly inexperienced still, Gav. I'm sure we'll see a lot more from him, but not tonight.
And it does look like he'll be out of Europe's strongest man now. The medical team taking him out the back, where he will sadly be put down.
Ha! For a sleep, kids, for a sleep.
So Lalas taking on Novikov in the car walk. He's already taken one strongman down.
Novikov's got his serious face on. But Lalas, we've seen how quick he is in these kind of events. It's whether he can handle the weight. 13.59. Luke still the man to beat, and despite twisting as he goes up, Novikov's flying.
Well, these are the events he's just so good at. Just powering through with immense speed.
And I think Lalas maybe just a little unpracticed there, or maybe it's just a sheer strength thing. Novikov is so powerful that Lalas couldn't bring his speed in, but 11.19, there's your leader right there.
16.79 for Lalas, which is a great time. But when you're next to Novikov, everything looks slow.
Certainly does. Drag race with him, difficult. HICKS is going a little early, or is he just warming up? Just warming up. The man in second.
Oh, absolutely. He needs to beat Luke's time. If he does, he will be in the overall lead with just one event to go. So, pressure's on him. And, of course, HENLA will be looking to stop him.
He's got a good track record here at Europe's Strongest Man. HICKS, he was third in 2014, fourth last year. Oh, this is a slow start, though. Cumbersome, even. HENLA's not exactly high-speed stuff either.
No, unsteady, really, from both men. HENLA really struggling now. The car's down.
A lifeline to HICKS between these two. He's twisting, and those tyres are bumping. He somehow bullied it over the line in 22, 23 seconds, maybe. Well, I just wonder whether HICKS, that torn bicep at World's Strongest Man a year ago, where he had to have an operation in a similar event, just haunts him.
Brave attempt from both HENLA and HICKS. No one could outdrive Novikov.
Yeah, that was furious, maybe not fast and furious. Going offline. Really impressive he managed to keep it going though.
So the car walk proves a big reverse for Graham Hicks. Luke Stoltman stuck in second while Oleksii NOVIKOV slips into first. And that means that with just one event to go, it's NOVIKOV who is now Luke's big rival, only 2.5 points between the two men. Hicks only half a point ahead of Marius Lallis, with HENLA and O'Dwyer also within striking range of the podium. Ratzi is with the car walk winner now.
Oleksii, this evening started with you being one of 3 people to successfully press the log, and you've just stayed in it all the way through. How would you assess your performance?
It's my job. I work in this sports. I love this sports in my playground, and I feel very good here. And I'm around with my friend, so I enjoy my life. That's why it's not too heavy for me for mental. It's like my best holiday. Yeah.
It's been some holiday watching you. That car walk has put you right in contention. You're now in the top 2. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time. And although they might be friends, it's now time for the official Oleksii Stoltman showdown.
Indeed, Ratzi, it's on. Or at least it will be very shortly. Keeping us glued to our screens, it's the final battle for gold next on Europe's Strongest Man. Welcome back to Leeds. We're one event away from crowning the new Europe's Strongest Man. This man has led since the first event, but can Luke Stoltman hold on to take the title? It's over to Colin and Danny.
Well, thank you, James. And yes, that is the question. These stones will give us the answer. 5 stones, ranging in weight, just getting heavier and heavier, and 60 seconds in which to pop them on those plinths. TOOTS managed an impressive 23.5 seconds. HANSSON managed all 5 in 48.01. O'Dwyer had an amazing run, really, with 22.23 seconds, but his podium hopes were dashed by HENLA, who leads with 21.2. As we move gently on to Lallis, just half a point behind Hicks in 3rd place. So this is the battle for the bronze.
Hicks, he's had one before. He knows what it takes to get there, but Lallis was actually a late replacement. Another injured athlete. This would be a massive result if he were to grab a bronze here at Europe's Strongest Man. Come out of the shadow of his big brother a little bit, that's for sure. Now, neither man's particularly tall in terms of strongman height anyway, both about 5'10", 5'11". So those early stones could have been tricky, but they're not. And Hicksy with that wild lower back power now.
Well, Lallis just falling behind, and Hicks, up it goes, the hands are off, and Lallis not far behind.
Wow, I'm not sure it was quicker than 21.2, certainly Lallis's wasn't.
Well, 22.42 from Hicks, puts him in 3rd so far for the Castle Stones.
Really close on times, isn't it? Goodness, but that's Hicksy secured himself the bronze medal.
Well, if we're looking for speed, we're going to find it here between NOVIKOV, currently in 2nd place, and of course Stoltman, our current leader.
Now Luke Stoltman has enough of a lead here. He just has to finish inside the top 3 in stones to see off NOVIKOV, even if NOVIKOV wins. So he's got to keep his cool. He's here to do a job if he's going to get Europe's Strongest Man. But the world's strongest man, as NOVIKOV is, the 2nd youngest in history, he's just ice cool always.
And Stoltman wants this so badly. This would be the biggest title of his career.
Bit of a fumble on the 3rd, but he was in the lead, but he makes it back up.
Well, look at this time from both men. NOVIKOV beats him on time, Stoltman right behind him.
And I think he's the 2nd quickest. I think it's a NOVIKOV win there with Stoltman just behind, but he did touch it again, goodness. This will come down to the final score sheet. I think Cushy thinks he's done it.
Well, so do the rest of us. And Luke Stoltman has done it. the biggest title of his career.
Oh, what a moment for him. Luke Stoltman, congratulations to you. Europe's strongest man. I don't think he'd have thought of that a few years ago when he was still on the oil rigs. His commitments paid off.
So Novikov, well, he was faster, 18.74. Stoltman just behind, 20.5 seconds, there or thereabouts. But in terms of the final standings, well, HICKS in third. That's great from him. Novikov second, and just ahead, Luke Stoltman, no longer just the Highland Oak. Instead, Europe's strongest man.
I love my family, I love being a Stoltman, I love Strongman, and honest to God, I'm really emotional at the moment because it's a dream come true for me to go up against these great athletes. Oleksii, one of my best friends in the sport, one of the greatest athletes of all time. So I don't know what to say, man. I'm really, yeah, thank you. Stay spicy.
Well, that was the final castle stone, securing his victory. Such a great competitor. And what an amazing night for this guy. Getting his trophy from Bill Kazmaier. Europe's strongest man, Luke Stoltman.
Champion. And what a set two we have in store, by the way, when Luke and his brother Tom go head-to-head for the world title in Sacramento. Before that, of course, they're going to be facing another world-class field at our next event on the Giants Live Tour, which is on home turf in Glasgow with the World Tour Finals. We'll see you for that next time on Giants Live.